afternoon. It's All In with CSN. We're live here at the world famous Smoking Pig. I got Joey Martin from JW Martin Real Estate with me. Say hey, Joey.
Hey, how's it going?
Lots of good guests coming up tonight. Our special guest tonight is former Tiger tight end Darrell Berry. He'll be up with us here shortly. Lots of good stuff to talk about. We're going to review the LSU game and talk about what we saw there. It'll be brief. And then we got Tiger Pick'em coming up later on tonight where we got 6 games we'll pick. I got some cool merchandise. I forgot to grab it out of the car. It's in the car. I have to go grab it. But I got a couple T-shirts to give away tonight if somebody can answer it easy. Be a question. Beautiful night here in Pendleton, South Carolina. The cricket, and you can hear the folks all happy over here. They're all behind us. I mean, let's swap cameras real quick. Joey, show them what you got going behind us, Joey. What are they doing up there?
Oh, man, everybody's just having a good time out there playing some cornhole. Got a little mini golf going on.
Yep.
Just having a fun time out there.
And you can smell the barbecue.
Oh, without question.
Good Lord. I mean, they sent me home like they do every time I come here. They send me home with a plate. Mr. Morris does. And, man, you should have seen my dogs. I got home, man, and I got about a 1-year-old husky, and he's absolutely a man child. He's like 100. He's like 75 pounds, biggest husky I've ever had. I've always had huskies. And this dog's name's Jake. But absolutely ballistic on a rib bone. He couldn't believe it before. And boy, oh boy, I spoiled him, man. Guess he's going to get one again because Daddy's going to bring home another plate full of ribs. And I found a new one. Everybody's got a biscuit or a cornbread. I've never noticed it before. You know who was it used to do the yeast rolls back in the day?
That's old Quincy's out there.
Quincy's. Yeah. Good Lord. I would go to Quincy's and just load up on them. It's like those cheddar biscuits over at Red Lobster. Man, yeah. I hate to be name dropping people that don't pay us, but we got to. Joey, were you addicted to those things like I was? I mean, when I was a little boy, I couldn't get enough of Quincy's yeast rolls.
Yeah, I didn't miss many yeast rolls.
No doubt, man. There you go. It's like those things, but it's like a ciabatta bread yeast roll.
Oh, yeah.
You get where I'm coming from? I've man, it was good. I told Mr. Morris, I said, listen, I love all the barbecue brisket and the pork and everything you send me home with, man. But man, load me up with some of them rolls. I said, I will break the diet this week for that one. And that's definitely what we're up to this week. But yeah, Mr. Morris will hook us up. Mr. Devers, the guy that owns this place and all the smoking pigs across the whole area here from Anderson all around. We can't take it. Just absolutely rules here, man. It truly does. It's so Clemson. Yeah. It embodies all of what we like here. We like community. We like supporting local. And I said eating local, big deal to us. Even buying local, dude. Tell everybody what you've been up to with the podcast, and I want you to bring up one thing is certain. Richard Yergin, the former Clemson defensive end who had the neck injury, tried very hard to make his way back into and changed himself. But man, he found another path. And he found another route in life, and I want you to explain. You had him on your podcast, and I thought it was very telling. And I want you to talk about that a little bit as you talk about what you've been up to, as well as some stuff you sent me earlier this week. Go, Joey, go.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tierney. We have up the street here in Pendleton off of Highway 76 on the 17th, Champions Village, Great Southern Homes neighborhood. We'll be doing the Game On at Champions Village event. That's going to be coming up September 17th from 1 till 3 p.m.
Wow. And that's going to be catered, right?
Yep, absolutely. So, yeah, come join us.
You got some Wild Wing Cafe stuff coming up there, people to eat?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about Clemson Village. I mean, what's going on there? What can people look forward? Is it more of a student kind of thing, or is it?
This is more of a family-oriented neighborhood.
It's rare in this area.
Yeah,
yes, sir. Especially new
and affordably priced. I mean, in the 200s.
Wow,
which is rare these days too. So,
yeah.
And you got a pool and clubhouse and a nice little pavilion to have events. So,
where can they find at JW Martin? Their Facebook has some information on our feed as well. News Facebook page. I shared some stuff in there the last call. Also find there. To lead them there, but maybe right there on the JW Martin website, I'm guessing.
Yeah, most definitely. Just go to www.jwmartinhomes.com, and you can find that. You can also find our most recent listing out in 6 Mile, which is called The Castle on the Hill.
And it's absolutely that. It looks like something out of Camelot. It is absolutely, and I grew up in 6 Mile. I'm not kidding. I was a Daniel High kid. I lived out there what they call Sunset, South Carolina now. Mile Creek Road. My family owned about 80. Our little church is off a little road back there called Kiwi Baptist Church. Like, it's surrounded. I mean, there was nothing there but a boat ramp and a church. 30 years that I knew. Poor mother, she's buried there. And I stopped by to see her a few months back, and I looked around, and the whole place is just absolutely surrounded by multi-million-dollar homes all around it. Because that part of the lake was just like when I was a kid, that was where you hid out. You know what I'm saying? You take your girlfriend for a ride down that part of the lake, and nobody finds you. You know what I'm saying? That lake has now been found and developed. I mean, part of the lake. But again, come to J.W. Martin. You guys got your hand on the pulse in the area, and it's just awesome to see local guys outside of this. Because like I told you, the one thing I hate is big box companies.
Right.
I hate watching big names come in and throw their name on something and then get a local guy and like he's local, and that money ain't staying here; it's going somewhere else. Right. Whereas with you, stays right here. By the way, is in charge of that property. You got two realtors in charge of that, right?
At Champions Village, that's going to be Brad Reed and Gundy Simmons.
Okay.
And then I'm actually listing the castle on the hill myself. So.
Well, anything you want as far as real estate questions, selling or buying, reach out to Joey. His physical location, he's got two offices, one in Clemson at the corner of 133 and Highway 93, right there by the train trestle. Yep. And then he's got one right there at 123 on the way to Center, 3 miles from Clemson, 3 miles from Seneca. I know because I happen to live across the street. So that's Joey. He'll be there. So Joey, you got to get to the Richard Yeargin story. Now, Joey's podcast is pretty cool. It's about local business success stories, and it's not about real estate. It's not about Joey. It's about life. Yep. And he got Richard Yeargin, who's a common denominator here. We're talking about a Clemson guy. Yeah. And I was there with Richard when he was at Clemson, and you had him on the podcast. Yes. So tell us about Richard. And
Richard and I have become close friends. When I used to own my restaurant over in Central, Richard came in with some other coaches, and they were having dinner in area upstairs at a little cigar room. And Richard knew so much about 22-year-old guy with so much cigar knowledge. Yeah. And I was like, this guy knows more about cigars than I do. But we just kind of hit it off from there, and then I started listening. He started telling me a story, and he was with the coaches because they kind of allowed him to take on a coaching role while he was injured. He had injured himself in that car accident. He had hydroplaned off the road, flipped his car, fractured his neck. Yep. Thought he'd never play football again, and so he was faced with he got cleared to play again.
I remember, no pun intended. I was worried for the kid.
Yeah, absolutely. He even asked me for my opinion of it, and I just don't want to make that decision for somebody. True
that. And, but it's a huge decision, but it's one of those ones you hate to see the wrong decision made and something happen. Because it's always like that, man. You're borderline. Something happens or you're injuring yourself. It's even worse usually. Yeah,
but he's definitely persevered. He was cleared to play. Get to Boston college eligibility. Wound up winning the Brian Piccolo Award.
Yep, sure did. Yep. And a great award too. Yeah, the
story's just been fun to watch unfold because just being
very deserving.
Yeah, and now he's doing motivational speaking and having a big impact on the youth.
Yeah,
and so
I tell you, it took him into a totally different direction. And like you said, he's taken his gift that has been, I guess, the path was changed. Yeah. The road split. It didn't go the direction he wanted it to, but he took that path to be, and he's found a purpose. Yeah. I think I hear stories like this all the time between athletes and musicians and entertainers and just people in life that come across that in life. I applaud it. I'm one of those old I'm one of those old silly guys that got a big old heart. Wear it on my sleeve. I'll tear up at a story like that. You know what I'm saying? You'll catch me over there going, because I honestly pull for people like that. Yeah. Like at the end of the newscast every night. While you're watching the national news, and they always have that feel good story at the very end. Yeah. Yeah. They always end with that one little tear jerker. It's almost like a commercial. You're like, good gracious, man, why'd you have to play that one? It's like you always like I guess a good old Al Bundy. I love old Al Bundy, and he would always refer to, they just played that darn phone commercial again. You know the old long distance when we were kids.
Oh yeah.
Your son's calling. But that with these stories like Richard, man, I'm pulling for him. And your podcast, guys, you got to check it out. Joey's done some great things with the podcast. Again, it's not about him. It's not about real estate. It's about life.
Yeah.
And experiencing it, and again, fellowship and a community. And that's again, we can't preach that enough around here. We believe in that. I told you, eat local, buy local all day long, shop local. Take care of, keep that money right here. Right here with us. Let's share each other's graces and each other's Lord, the prosperity that the Lord gives us. Bring it on right here, like an offering plate. Just offer it right back to each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why I say buy local, eat local. All day long. That money stays here. You're getting people hired. You're getting you say right here behind us, the Smoking Pig. Just by patronizing this place, just coming here and buying food, being there, you create commerce. That causes Mr. Devers to have to, which means he gets to put more tax money into the local community, which means he gets to give money back to people like me to do stuff like this and support us. I mean, this is big stuff. We all take care of each other. It's a big circle. Joey knows. Our guests that are coming up, they know. We got a great big announcement today. I'm just going to say ImagineStudiosSC.com. That's all I want you to know. ImagineStudiosSC.com. We're going to be talking about them here in a few minutes with their CEO, Chris. And we got a big announcement. We a partnership that we come together. I'm very excited about it. And that'll be coming up in a minute. But we got Darrell Berry coming up here shortly. And I'll tell you, Darrell and me go way back. To me, he's DB. I don't call him Darrell. It's my buddy DB. And I've known him for a while. And I tell you, I can't wait to get Darrell up here. He's got some great. He's left the area. He left as a coaching assistant, and he came back. And he's back in the Dutch Fork, Columbia area where he's from, and he's there with his family. He's been doing all kinds of things, from coaching high school football to working in law enforcement and all kinds of cool things. He give us his ideas of what he sees, and we'll talk about a few subjects that I think are really cool. We'll have Darrell up here shortly. But let's talk about that LSU game. I mean, Joey, what'd you think? I mean, got through watching it. What were your feelings? I got on the phone with one of our photographers. Yeah. He was on his way back to Columbia. He's like telling me, Gary, what is it? And I'll tell you, I let him know what I really thought, before I sat down and watched it the second time.
Yeah.
And then after I sat down and took that deep breath and watched it for a second time, I got different thoughts on the whole game. But what'd you feel like? What was your initial gut?
I'll tell you what, man, the defense showed up strong. I mean,
I agreed. That's one of the bullet points.
I thought the defense looked championship caliber.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. The whole points. I honestly, I guarantee you, no one holds that team under 24 points the rest of the season.
Yep.
That team will score 35 to 40 points on nobody every Saturday. And against SEC teams, they're going to be at least 4 touchdowns. That team has got a lot of weapons. And I was very impressed with Tom Allen's scheme. That defensive line, when you went back and watched the tape, Peter Woods was destroying people.
Yeah.
I'm literally picking up 300-pound guys and throwing them left and right. I was amazed. Yeah. And it's kind of what I was expecting from him, but you didn't see it during the game.
Right.
You had to go back and watch it over because the impact was different, because when you watch it live, you're soaking it in and you're hoping for something to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not sitting there analyzing. You find yourself being the analyst, what I'm supposed to be. That fan guy, I can let it out when I'm at home, but,
Yeah.
But so, again, going on from the defense, what do you think?
Defense, there again, I thought defense was incredible, championship caliber. Offensively, we just couldn't get a rhythm going.
Yep.
I think I would have liked to see, now it's easy for me to say from sitting
the Monday morning quarterback. Yeah,
the Monday morning quarterback. But I would have liked to seen some maybe offensive adjustments made in that second half.
Agreed.
Maybe because we're back, that they had a strong D-line, and we were getting a lot of pressure on Cade.
Well, I think the quarterback situation was the blitz packages they had, and they expected those, and they just didn't attack them like I thought they should. And I think that a lot of that was with the injury to Antonio Williams took them out of a lot of their game plan.
Yeah.
I think they had him planned. I think they had him literally slotted, no pun intended, into the slot to do a lot of quick game stuff, a lot of slants, a lot of stuff right there, quick outs to nullify Seven Perkins, the linebacker that was always blitzing. If Antonio Williams is in the slot, it forces Perkins over on top of him.
Yep.
You eliminate that blitz from him right there. As soon as you took Antonio Williams out of the game, that changed everything.
Yeah.
Because then, I mean, nothing against Tyler Brown, but man, I'm going to tell you, I'm an AW fan, and we'll talk to Darrell Barry about that here in a minute. Why? I mean, I'll be honest with you. The first time I ever saw Antonio Williams in a Clemson uniform was versus Georgia Tech at the Georgia Dome 3 years ago. Game of the season. And we're watching. The press box in the Georgia Dome is not set at the 50. It's kind of, so I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm watching him run routes. And there was like watching a kid on ice skates. Like his cuts were just so precise.
Yeah.
It was almost like, well, again, on somebody with ice skates, because when you make a cut on a pair of ice skates, it's like that. It's like a 90-degree turn. He was like watching he was making them so precise that the guy couldn't keep up with him because the preciseness of the route it would give him that much of an advantage, a couple, 3 yards. And I was like, man, this is insane. It's the first time I ever saw him. And now, 3 years later, he's gotten that, and he's gotten where he's got his field presence. He knows when to find spots inside of zones and drop in and go, hey, I'm here, and show his hands. Man, smart football player. And again, when Darrell comes up, that kid is not at Clemson if it isn't for my man Darrell Barry, who's coming up here shortly. That's the truth. Okay, that later. But, I think that was a big part of it. Yeah. Losing him, that was his safety net. Remember, it's always been Jake Brenningstool or AW.
Right.
As far as Cade's been the last couple years, it's been like the guy on third down, right?
Yep.
The third down guy went away.
Yeah.
And I think that made him think too much. And another thing, you talked about it, I think you saw him going into the huddle a lot in the first half. I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Why are we snapping the ball with 12 seconds? We should be running these guys to death. We should be the tempo, because if you go back and watch that Texas game, what's he's doing? He's tempo in the whole second half. When you take Cade and make him react like a quarterback and it's on instinct,
right?
All those repetitions in the brain and the hands, it's like an instinct versus think. You're going to get a better result.
Yeah. I would
bet him up and say, okay, let's get out there and put him in 2 minutes. That's where he's comfortable. Let's take away the option of thinking too hard.
Right.
Make him think for open field. I think that's us sitting here talking. We're not the coaches. Going on in their minds. We don't know what's going on with the personnel on the field, but we can sit here and play Monday morning quarterback all day long. I'm not going to second guess guys that get paid millions of dollars to make these decisions. Right. And Dabo Swinney, he's the man as far as I'm concerned. The man is one of the top coaches in college football. Absolutely. I'll just trust him. It was the first game we played against. I literally probably be in that Final Four at the end of the year. I think I've got them penciled in that Final Four. I think we might see them again.
Yeah.
And if we do, I think it'll be a different ball game. It truly will. Because I think you'll get Clemson at full strength. And I think another thing you said you would like to see them get. You mentioned being more stability in the game plan. The running game, just walking away from it like they did. I scratched my head just to keep them honest. They should have just at least stuck to something. Yeah. I mean, they literally in the second half they adjusted and they go, okay, well they're not going to run on us. Right. Let's just pin our ears back and start blitzing. And they went nuts on us with the blitzes because they knew we weren't going to run. And even if they did run, they were just going to blitz the A gap, and blow it up. So there was no RPOs. There was no getting Adam Randall into I feel comfortable and get into a rhythm. You said the word rhythm.
Right, yeah.
That's what you get a rhythm with is when you got good balance between run, pass, Yeah. So that's me talking. That's me watching football. I'm not a coach. I'm an analyst. And Joey's our color guy. So that's just us talking. So, hey, I mean, special teams, we had the one missed field goal, which was disappointing, but the punter, Jack Smith, showed up and literally did a great job. We know who our punter is now. That was a question going into the game. It's pretty apathetic to think we have to go back and talk about a punter today, but he was a bright spot. Right. And I think another one, it showed first game jitters. We didn't see some guys I wanted to see. Where was Jeremiah Alexander in that linebacker core? Now, I know you got Sammy Brown and Wade Woodaz up there, and those guys are solid, but come on, man. You got to put that big fella in there in the middle and go, hey, try to run that ball in the air with this guy sitting here. That'd stop it real quick. But I think they kind of got that point across fast with the defensive line because if you saw, LSU adjusted real fast and went to the perimeter running game, trying to find stuff on the outside stretch zone plays. And when they did that, that's when I would have spread my defense out a little bit. I would have taken my ends and said, okay, step outside, getting almost in the flat, almost like you're doing a zone blitz kind of thing. Just stand up. Yeah. Don't even put your hand down. Stand up and wait for them. Like option.
Yeah, the receivers just on offense, no separation whatsoever, and so I'm sure that was a tough spot with all that pressure coming at you from.
Well, you got to get the ball out quick when you got pressure coming at you that fast. Hot routes are got to be dependable, and they got to be there and waiting on you. And he missed a couple of those. I'll be honest with you. That last series, we can go back and watch it on film, but there's a couple guys open on those last two plays, that third and fourth down. He missed them both, and that's just quarterback play. And again, you're talking a young man, a lot of pressure on him. A lot. I remember the kid this year, and we all wanted to say he was going to handle it, and he's owned it. Yeah, he owned it. This week in the interviews and stuff, we got all that stuff up. But what do you expect? A young kid, first game of the year. I mean, everybody else is out there playing the Sisters of the Poor. Here you got one of the top 5 teams in the country in your house. Matching up against a defense that you really had no film on because it's all transfer kids.
I think the good news also is that I don't with the way college football is now. I think a team going start to finish,
undefeated.
Yeah, undefeated.
Hard to do.
It's going to be hard to do.
Especially if both of these leagues, everybody goes to 9-game conference schedules. It's really going to be hard. I mean, I had Clemson penciled in 11-1, 10-2 this year. I never said it was going to be an undefeated year. He just said he would like to be. He thought his team could be the first one to 16-0. He didn't say it would be this year.
Right.
Okay. So, but he catches a lot of flack for that. But dude, I had him penciled in as a 10-2, 11-1 team. There's just too many games like next week. Georgia Tech is a really scary game. The Louisville Friday night game is a scary game just because of where it is and where it's on the schedule. Yeah. And then you got the South Carolina game at the end of the year, which is always going to be a game that you got to watch out for, even when they're not having a good year. Yeah. The rivalry comes, but that team's loaded this year. South Carolina, what impressed me it was their offensive line, defensive line, trash. Yeah. But their linebacker play, that Johnson kid, absolute beast. That guy is a star. Yeah. And they got some really good play out of that wide receiver, Harbor, finally. He's starting to develop that big monster that can run like a deer. And then you saw Sellers being Sellers at times, pulling away from people, making nothing overwhelmingly that blew me away. Solid. And by the time you get to them at the end of the year, tried and tested. If they can get through the year with no injuries, we're going to have a big ball game at the end of the year with those guys. And again, you got to get there yourselves, no injuries and all that kind of stuff. But hey, got that all done. No more LSU talk. But we're going to bring in our buddy Chris Sloan. And Chris is from Imagine Studios SC. Chris, come on in here and join us. Have a seat.
How you doing, guys?
You're doing great. Get on in here in the picture there. There you go. Let me slide over a little bit for you. Get you in our focus. Come on this way a little bit, Chris. Right. There you go. So, Chris, I came across Chris's. I've seen Imagine Studios on social media many times. You'll see their logo. It's always stenciled on. It's always watermarked under their stuff. And I always see, beautiful pictures right there. I mean, literally, you kid playing trombone. That damn thing looks 3D coming into your head. I mean, just gorgeous shots. And I'm a photography fan because the business I'm in. I've had to hire them. I've had to be on the field being a photographer myself. I appreciate art. You have to have an eye. The gear's great, but you have an eye with the gear and put the two together. And Chris and his wife do some amazing work. And they've been doing it for decades. Chris is an ex-Tiger Band member, Clemson alum from the 90s, and started working with the Tiger Band a long time ago. And he provides like game day shots for the families and the kids in the band, and it's just amazing stuff. This past week, put out an ad or two ago for a new photographer, and we've got hundreds of resumes submitted, professional guys, all the way down to intern level kids. And then we just got inundated. But I came across his stuff, and I started thinking to myself, you know what? They're already there. They're already on. Why not do something for them and give back? We can do something to help each other. We came together on the phone, met, started texting, and we talked about some stuff and some experiences he's had and with the people that do stuff like we do. And we started talking, and we started talking the deal, and all of a sudden we came to an arrangement. And they're going to start working with us as our second media team. We already have a team on the field of media guys, but they're already there. They're going to start shooting. Him and his wife are going to be shooting us. This is what Tamara, right? Mm-hmm. Yep. They're going to start shooting with us, and we're going to have their stuff sent to us every week on game day as well, man. And I tell you, I couldn't be happier. And at the same time, we're going to promote their business. They don't just do game day shots for band guys. They do. You got a wedding? Call them. You got a corporate event? Call them. You got a kids volleyball game? Call them. Soccer game? Call them. They can do it all. Any event, any occasion, family portrait? Call them. Portrait for your student at the end of the year at Clemson? Call them. They got it. Go to imaginestudiosSC.com. And Chris, I'm going to let you take it away and talk about joining us here at Clemson Sports News and the partnership and tell us a little bit more about how you got involved. I mean, go to town, start from scratch. Tell us about how you started the company and what you're doing there and your relationship with the band and how we came to meet each other.
All right, well, thanks for having me, guys. First thing I got to say is you guys were talking about the Quincy, that old big fat yeast roll from Quincy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can't go without saying y'all making me hungry on that.
Hey, dude, folks.
Oh, Paul.
Oh, Lord.
I grew up on Pole Folks, man.
Remember that? The little checkerboard thing and
Yeah.
mason jars, glasses, a tea?
That was a Sunday after church.
Pole Folks, man. That's another one.
Yeah, you know, God's been so good to Imagine Studios. You know, I'm so thankful and blessed. This is our 20th Tiger Band down on the sidelines.
That's just that right there is a testament to dedication to you and your life. I mean, because come on, man, 20 years.
Wow.
I mean, I know photographers down there that have been shooting that long, and they don't work for the same outlet for 20 years. You know what I'm talking about? I got buddies down there that have been shooting for about 25 years, and they've worked for all kinds of different people. You know, that's something else right there. That says a lot. And again, the fact that the band and the university trust their brand in your hands is a big deal too.
You know, it's I really owe a lot of thanks to the program, of course, the students and Dr. Speed and Tim Herbert and everybody on the band staff and everything. They've been so good to us, and just it's been a really good relationship. You know, as far as the beginning of our company, it actually started with Tigers. I had just moved down from Richmond, Virginia. I'm originally from Greenville. Had lived up in Richmond for 3 years. Came back home, and the photographer that was shooting Tiger Band once I was in the band was actually retiring that same year that I came back. And, you know, my father, he's been doing videography for Tiger Band since 1974.
Wow.
And so my
again,
brother,
this is a generational thing with you. So it's just like it passed on.
Yeah. My brother and I, you know, we were kids going on all these band
I
trips
love this,
together.
right? Yeah, I'm just telling you, I love it. When me and him hit it off immediately on the phone after we got to know each other real quick. I could tell we have like personalities. But go ahead, keep going.
Yeah. Like I said, my brother and I grew up going on these band trips, you know, and that kind of thing. So, you know, I wanted to find a way. Now that I'm back in town, back in the state, I wanted to find a way to give me my family for so many years. And so I approached Dr. What can I do? And he said, well, our photographer's retiring. How are you with a camera? I was like, well, I don't know, but I am certainly happy to find out for you.
Yeah.
And
kind of like me when I had to dive in at one point. Yeah. You just dive in and teach yourself.
Yeah. At the time, I knew nothing about photography. This is back in 2006. And so, you know,
and believe me, now, guys, he's a master. They got some. I'm telling you, the images are absolutely breathtaking for a band shot. I'm not kidding. These parents have got to be just flipping out, going, "Whoa! I couldn't ask for a better piece, of memory." But keep going, my friend.
Appreciate the kind words there. But yeah, so we're shooting some stuff. We take the next 2 or 3 years, really getting into it, and I find out that I'm not really good at this yet, but I really like it, and I think it's something that maybe I can be good at. I was a musician growing up and played in the band. I did some visual art, some drawing, some painting growing up, and that kind of thing.
Creative.
And this is just another form of visual art, right? So, so I decided just to take some classes, to spend some money, to really learn how to do this right. And so the shots started getting better on the sidelines with Tiger Band. We're up 2010, 2011, and it's time for me to start my own business. I could make some money doing this, and more importantly than that, I could create some wonderful friendships and some memories. Really good relationships.
Great memories.
Absolutely.
I'll be honest with you, man. I can't tell you how many parents probably have those things, those portraits you do over the fireplaces and just everywhere.
We have made more friendships through band students and band parents, and those friendships don't go away. Because
it's a fraternity inside a fraternity.
Those kids come back and play an alumni band at homecoming every year, and you get to see them, and you get in touch with their folks again, and all that kind of stuff. So it really is a conduit for building lifelong relationships, and that's the thing that we focus on at Imagine Studios. So Imagine Studios actually started shooting the band in 2006. We didn't become an actual company, and it's where we started marketing and doing all the things you mentioned, weddings and portrait sessions and headshots and
you're the logos. Now you got to tell everybody about the logo painting, and I'm still trying to. You mentioned there's a big deal about logo painting. Explain what that is to everybody.
Okay, so I mentioned earlier that I'd done some visual arts growing up,
right,
and that kind of thing. We've got and when I say second to none, it is second to none. All right, a logo painting service. It's brand new. We just launched it last year. If you want a tiger, if you want a 6-foot tiger fall on your wall in your rec room or your man cave, or you got to pulled every game. You want a huge tiger paw on that? You want
oh wow, so you do tailgate trails, you wrap cars and stuff and things like that?
They're not wraps, they're actually hand paintings.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And it's not just Clemson. If you're
of course
you're a Carolina fan, no, I'm just kidding. No, I mean we do college teams, pro teams, corporate
companies,
logos,
churches,
schools. And, so the full name of our company is Imagine Studios Fine Art Photography and Design, and our logo painting side of the business is of course more on the design side, obviously, but
it's unique. I mean, this is you got a niche in a genre that you created your own little niche in.
I did that in my house when I lived in Virginia. I had a little bar room upstairs in my house, and I had a huge white tile that I had painted on the wall on one side. You remember the old Clemson logo where you had the tiger crawling up the rock? That logo that I had painted on the opposite.
The one that literally the one that's on top of the old Death Valley tiger paw.
Yeah.
The tail.
Yeah.
That guy. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, but like I say, the logo painting side, I'm glad to mention it because it's brand new. It's a brand new service that we offer. We really want to push that side.
Yeah.
The foot is going to be our bread and butter, but you guys want to adorn your man caves or your she sheds or whatever you got. You want to put a corporate logo or even a school logo or pro team.
I'm just telling you, the man cave thing and the she sheds, you literally that's a whole market and niche I think we're going to push for you. I think he's just nailed it. Get this guy in there, get Chris in there to do this stuff for you. Man, I'm going to tell you, you're going to come back with us here shortly. Okay, we're going to have you back on for our pick segment here shortly.
Sure.
Okay, we're going to bring up Darrell Berry next, but Chris, ImagineStudiosSC.com, guys. Again, a new partner with us. I can't wear stuff onto our feeds come Saturday and Sunday. And on Sunday, every Sunday, they have a special gallery on our website. It's going to be a Studios gallery promoted, sponsored by Imagine Studios SC. Okay. So in other words, we have our regular game day gallery, special one just from Imagine Studios every game day to go on top of that. Can't wait for that feature to kick in on Sunday. But guys, Chris, we'll see you guys in a few minutes. We do our picks. Okay.
Sounds good. I'm gonna go get a yeast roll.
Oh, dude, go for it. Go for it. We're going to buddy Darrell Berry. DB.
What's up?
Number 82 in your program, number 1 in your heart. My boy Darrell Berry, man, he came all the way down here from Columbia, man.
Every minute of the drive.
Oh God, this guy right here, man. Me and him go way back. I mean, we can talk about a relationship. About 2014 or 15, me and you start talking and hanging out.
Yeah.
I tell you the best one I got. I'm sitting in my house. We just got Chase Bryce as a commit the night before as a 4-star quarterback, right? I'm sitting there. I just written a story. Sitting there before Dabo even knows. Hey, guess who just committed? 5-star Hunter Johnson. I'm like, what? I'm off my chair to my desk. He's like, hold off on it for 24 hours. I'm like, I got you, bro. He had to go tell the coach. He was so excited about it that we and then the stories I got with this fella going back, and we can talk forever. I mean, just awesome stuff. But I think I want to talk more about you and what you've been up to since you left. I mean, folks have seen him on television as a law enforcement officer on Live PD. He works as a coach and a development guy, coaching players at Dutch Fork High School. I'll tell you right now, Antonio Williams and Jarvis Green are not on the Clemson roster without this fella right here. Okay? I never seen anybody go to town for people like this guy does for his kids. When Antonio Williams was getting recruited, he started hitting me up going, Gary, you got to start paying more attention to this kid. And I just mentioned it a few minutes ago. When I saw him for the first time in live action, it was like watching a guy on skates, on ice skates, where he cuts his routes up. I've never seen a more precise route runner coming out of high school. He's even more dangerous now. And it's just the way he cuts those routes off. He just takes space away from people and creates his own. It's amazing. And he was telling me about this guy. He goes, guys, you don't under-recruited coming out of high school. Got late buzz. Clemson got on him late. And DB was pumping him the whole time and got him in there, man. And boy, oh boy, did Clemson come up with a gem. And again, it doesn't happen. Talk about Jarvis Green. Same thing. The kid was getting no love. Remember, DB was sitting there saying, Gary, I'm telling you, this is the kid. He's got the goods. He can do it. I started buying into it because why couldn't I buy into it? The man was right about AW. So I started writing about Jarvis and doing my own homework. Guess what? The kid got the walk-on offer and finally got the scholarship. And again, none of that happens without this guy. And you remember Jarvis Green from last year in Texas? What do you do? He walks out the backfield, scores that nice touchdown on the wheel route, slips out there looking great hands. And sorry about the injury. It sucks for us this year, but man, we got something to look forward to when he does come back.
I think with Jarvis, it's just those injuries. It's just that bad bug where right when he's getting some momentum, he gets an injury, and then that holds him back. And
I was looking forward to him having a niche in the offense this year.
But Jarvis Green was the #1 running back in the state.
But
he was breaking records for the most touchdowns in the first half, most yards in the first half, not the game, the first half. And I'm on the phone with guys up here like, hey man, this dude is a difference maker. And I don't get how it didn't transition, but maybe it was.
I tell you, as a recruiting guy,
that happens too. So
you talked about that. I'll tell you what happened. As a recruiting analyst, here's the issue. It's the competition level that they face in this state. People don't respect it.
Yeah.
That Dutch 14 was walking all over people for the last 4 or 5 years. So guess what? They're just walking over somebody else. They don't care. That's what happens. They don't respect the competition level around here. I've seen that with the way because I can't tell you how many times Dabo's literally asked me, hey, what are the high school coaches saying about us?
Yeah.
When he asked me that, wondering what I'm hearing. I said, look, man, they know that you can't recruit so much in the national brand and the pool is smaller. I'll be honest with you.
That also shows the talent we have at Clemson. Lenore Sellers is a perfect example. And you've seen when I wish, but then you look at who we have and
hey, the same guy that trained with Lenore is Ramon Robinson, one of my best friends. Yeah. And me and you, I worked with the AAW. Me and him worked on Kelly Bryant. I got Kelly Bryant his offer. I'm the one that went to Chad Morrison and said, come see this kid, and watched him come over and offer him at Wren High School one day. And I watched all that go on. And it's the same thing. With Lenore, you didn't know that was going to happen. No one knew what KB was going to be when he left Wren. Recruiting is a strange thing, but you know what's so cool is that everything you've ever told me, I can't. The talent evaluations
about that Hunter Johnson, T. Higgins. I can go down the list about. I'm more than 2 for 2. I promise you that.
Let me tell you about T. Higgins' story.
I promise you. T. Higgins was committed to Tennessee when me and him were talking, and it was. That Hunter Johnson, T. Higgins, they were both committed to Tennessee. Yeah. So back then, you want to talk about some recruiting and how hard we were working. It wasn't just me, but I was locked in. But
you remember, I was still in the music industry at the time. I worked part-time. So I was on tour. Literally, I was in Germany on a tour bus. It was July 3rd. Yeah. We're 6 hours ahead of America, right? I get a text message from T. Higgins at like 3 a.m. Yeah. It's like 12 o'clock, July 3rd, back on Tennessee. He's like, Gary, don't tell nobody I just cut a video for Rival in the morning. He told me before anybody. I'm over in Europe. I'm waking up on the bus, jumping up, grabbing my laptop, going to town. I got the story written. I'm just waiting to hit the publish button, But yeah, dude, the T. Higgins stories. But dude, the stuff that you did while you were there on campus working at staff.
Thank you very much.
I mean, just the relationships you built with players and recruits. I watched it. I saw it. I saw you build those relationships from out of nowhere, just knowing what they're feeling. Because you've been there. You were a recruit one time. I mean, let's talk about like this game last week. What was the biggest game you played in at Clemson? What would you think would it be? Rivalry game?
I would say early, it would have to be those Bowden Bowls.
Yeah.
Because I was here during the transition. So you think about Tommy Bowden versus Bobby Bowden. I'm from Charleston. I was 3-star, tight end, receiver, whatever you want to call it. But then when
you were the first hybrid.
Yeah.
You were, dude. You literally were the first hybrid wide receiver tight end we ever had.
But then when you stand on that sideline, you look across, and that's the Florida State that we remember. See Bobby Bowden walking up and down there, ain't saying a word, man.
That's intimidating.
That was different. Now you want coaches. You want to see that passion, that energy. Back then, those really, really, really good coaches, you didn't see too much of that. Lou Holtz walking up and down the side. Now he might be spitting on something, but it's all a little bit different. But I would say those earlier in my career those were some of the biggest games, man. And then we had the Miami game at home when I think we broke the sound barrier.
Oh, you're building the West Zone.
Oh yeah. I think they had to test the concrete again after that game.
No, everyone. I think it was a sack. One of the guys, so I think who was the defensive end that made that.
Charles Bennett at the time.
Charles Bennett makes a sack and the play like a roar, and then the sack happens and like the roar turns into a jet engine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like holy mackerel is that loud, and that was with like 10,000 seats missing. Yeah. I mean, the whole West End Zone was gone.
The field, like the sound waves on the field, were bouncing up and down. It didn't. I mean, nothing was still.
I tell you, the two loudest places I've ever been in is on the field at Death Valley and in Texas A&M.
Right now, one of the loudest is Wake Forest. I don't know to do with the speakers. You know what I'm saying?
Well, also it's a home game for Clemson.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, I remember, no joke. I'm going to Wake Forest. I got my press pass. I got my parking pass. I'm pulling up to the parking guy, and he goes, "Oh, you're from Clemson." He goes, "Thank God for you guys. Every year, about every 2 years, at least we sell the parking lot out."
Yeah, that's true.
He's like, we make money when y'all show up. And he's like, all right.
We bring the fans and the noise. So.
But Ricky Sapp on last week, and
I talked to Ricky all the time.
I love Ricky, man. Sweetheart of a guy.
Good for him, no, he's doing some analyst TV work.
Dude, he's got the Coastal. Yeah, he's got the gig with Coastal doing the color commentator for their broadcast. Who starts this week?
He'll be great at that.
And he's a sweetheart of a guy. But you had to go up against some of them fellas, man. Who was the toughest guy you could slide in there, play tight?
Hands down, Gaines Adams.
Gaines, yeah.
Gaines Adams.
Greenwood boy.
Rest in peace to Gaines.
Yeah, amen.
Gaines was. When he got down in the stance, I'm a freshman and I'm coming in, and like I said, I'm a receiver, play tight end, can run for days, but then they say, hey, you got to learn how to block. And then
got to go in that tight formation.
At the time, it's 2 tight end sets or 1 tight end set, didn't matter. But when I was on that left side and he got down in the stance, he was almost growling, And I thought, I'm like, why are you so mad? He's like, no, I'm just getting old. You know what I'm saying? But then when he took off the ball, he was so fast, so natural. But he was by far the most fluid.
I'm from Greenwood.
And then on the other side, there was Philip Merling, who was just heavy.
Woo! Everybody forgets about him.
Get your hands on him, drop anchor, and we're going to stand right here.
Yeah. Run guy. You couldn't get me a run. It was a run support guy all the way. Philip Merling, everybody forgets about him.
That neck and underneath that helmet, it's over for you. So keep your chin tucked and, like I said, drop your anchor. But Gaines, he could do both.
Yeah.
He was so long and so fast. Quan Bowers, almost like the same. They were.
Collins was the number 1 recruiting in the country when he came out. Like again, you talk about that little. I talked about that with Ricky last week. Both those guys,
different too.
Yeah, out of Bamberg, a little town, and both of them were number 1 defensive ends in the country when they came out.
Rick was speed. That's just
Rick fast.
Rabbit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So everybody had their own niche or whatever. But as far as the total package, I would have to say who I've went against was Gaines Adams. That was different.
Yeah. So out of all those games you talked about, which one do you think is your most memorable? The Bowden Bowls, Gamecocks?
I can go down the list like Miami for atmosphere and hype and noise, right. Texas A&M for battle and field goal.
That was a good game. That was a really good game that night.
V-Tech, we had bowl games that were great. Coaching, I don't want to get into Ohio States and all them and Oklahoma's, but playing, I appreciate those Bowden Bowls. And then at the time, South Carolina was great, man. They were good and we were fighting, and we got some losses, but just that environment, it's just what makes the football in the state so special. And it kind of puts us both on the map until the end of the season. Choose sides. We're gonna draw a line in the sand, and for today, we're gonna get after it, but. You want both teams to be great until the end of the season.
But when you left, you got into the coaching side and started working for the staff. You're working for Dabo. You had you're a big part of the recruiting team. You're a big part of that. I know that for a fact. You used to reach out to a lot of kids. But talk about the development stuff, the stuff you saw, the relationships you built. We talked about earlier. We were just joking about an interaction I had in the locker room after the national championship. But like you got to see that stuff all day long. What drew you to coaching? I see it in you. I see it. I see why. I know why. But you tell us why.
I think seeing that transition from Bowden, I love Bowden, to Sweeney, and me kind of seeing how Sweeney already had a plan, how he was implementing it, and seeing the changes made me fall in love with football even more. So real quick, without getting too deep in my story, I was born in England, military family, played soccer my entire life, could just run, but I kept getting too big. And they're like, you need to play this football, not that football. And then I didn't really fall in love with football.
You were a basketball kid.
Like everybody did. I was playing basketball in high school.
Fort Dorchester, right?
You know, I was playing football. I was running track. But then seeing those coaches.
See, I know this because even then, that's how old I am, guys.
So that's when, I fell in love with the game when Billy Napier was my position coach. And he's drawing the X's and O's up. And he's like, you're not only going to know what you have, you're going to know the responsibility of everybody. Well, that made me more successful on the field because you're going to see, there's a couple times we throwing the ball deep to Jacoby Ford, and I got my hands to get the attention of the safety, and he's going to be open. So
you
just understanding the game, that's where I started to fall in love with it. And then Sweeney's leadership, I mean, it's second to none in the country.
Honestly, I tell people all the time. Now, I got a personal relationship with Coach Sweeney, with Dabo. Yeah. I play golf with him. I've had dinner with him at his house many times. I know his wife very well. Yeah. I know his brother very well.
Yeah.
He is what he is.
Yeah,
people act like, wait a minute, he's probably like that on camera. He's probably a totally different guy. He's not. He's the same dude you see.
And
literally, now, hey, does the language get different off the camera?
Yeah.
It can, of course.
If you ain't doing your job, you're
darn right you're going to hear about it.
He loves you just the same. Accountability is always there, and that's where, like I said, going back to I knew exactly I was going to get in law enforcement, but I said no, I want to be like them. I want to be a part of that. They've made me appreciate them more.
Well, also
where I truly fell in love with it. I love the game. I wanted to play it and like the game. I understood.
You saw the difference that you made with people, though. You saw the difference that it had on kids. Because again, how many kids go to the NFL? 2%.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know that other 98% were all 4 stars.
Being a people person is different. You know, that's where recruiting comes in. There are a lot of coaches, and there are a lot of great coaches that know football, but they're not as personable. So you don't want those guys to go in that living room and try to sell a school to that mama or daddy. And there's certain guys, and when it came to me, I was still learning the game. I was under Tony Elliott and Jeff Scott, awesome minds, really smart guys. And I said, where do I fit in? It's while they're working on the X, let me go and recruit these kids.
Relationships.
And I can build those relationships. And all of a sudden, it started hitting and it started working. I'm like, man, we just connected on a certain level.
I'm going to tell you something else. Everybody knows about Clemson and the wide receiver, you, Brand, and Jeff Scott, and how it's him. Let me tell you who was feeding those kids to Jeff. Yeah. He's sitting right next to me. Yeah. That T. Higgins. All those kids were walking to hit Coach Scott through him. This is the man that spotted them, was the evaluator that literally said, these are the guys we want to go target. Here, Coach.
And so with T. Higgins, like I said, without getting too deep in it, but he's committed to Tennessee. And as an analyst, you got to go through and watch all this film. And I just watched this film and I said, hey, we need this guy. Whoever this is, we need him. And then Tennessee, where'd you live? Knoxville.
Right there in the middle of Tennessee.
When I go in there, you think I got to... Before I put that folder down on that desk and say, hey, Jeff, this guy he lives in Knoxville and he's committed to Tennessee. Let's go after him. Yeah, right. Yeah. You got to build that relationship first and say, hey, I got a relationship with this kid.
Yeah.
I've built it.
To go into the backyard like that and pull somebody out of there?
Once I get him here, that's when he gets to Jeff. Once Jeff builds that relationship, that's when you take it to Sweeney, and it's a home run after that. Yeah. That's like setting up the bases for the grand slam. Right. But you got to get on first. You got to get on second. You got to get on third. And then you go into Sweeney and say, hey, here you go. We're going to pitch you a fastball down the middle. Let's see if you can close.
But to go into enemy territory like that, guys, and again, you're talking about a program where we went head-to-head with recruits in the past. I'll give you just this past year, David Sanders, the 5-star offensive tackle. We lost him to Tennessee, okay? After leading for this kid for months. Now, here's something else. But this is, again, your different era, NIL versus you. Yeah. If you had NIL money and able to offer these kind of things.
We were doing it without NIL. That's what
I know.
Justin Ross is another one. Justin Ross's mother was away. She was out of the country. She was in the military.
Yeah.
Yeah. Justin Ross was in Alabama. He was one of the top receivers in Alabama. You think Jeff's desk and said, hey, Justin Ross, he's in Alabama.
Yeah, he was number one on their board.
Yeah, you didn't think he was going to go to Alabama or Auburn.
It was their Julio Jones. It was the next Julio Jones. The state of Alabama.
There's a lot of things behind the scene that a lot of such a great job on getting the rest of these guys here because those position coaches and coaches,
guys like Jordan Sorrells, people don't know about how hard those guys work in the background. They're the brand.
This humongous board in there, and if you really buy into the vision of Clemson, I love Clemson with all my heart. And
see, that's why it works.
I'm tied in.
That's why it works when you recruited there.
Yeah, so when I go in there, I'm like,
it was real.
Man, I want you to be my brother for life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You're a fraternity.
So,
again,
once you get the door and Sweeney does a good job with keeping it like that, I mean, we're going to be good. We'll be successful.
Again, family sells itself. And Joey, I mean, I don't know what you think. I mean, I've known this guy for years. Outside looking in, what did you think of this? Again, you guys don't realize how much affected that 2015, 16, 17, 18 football team.
Yeah.
I'll point right here. A lot of that skill came through this man right here.
All me,
well, I know it's not, but hey, I know who did the work.
I knew that's where I could help us the best at the time. You know, coaching, challenging guys in the hallway. I could tell you right now, after last week, superstars in that hallway and say, "Hey, man, you're still a stud, but it's time to go."
Hey, yeah,
right.
I was going to ask you that. How do you step up from a game like last week? What do you do?
Like,
what do you do on that next day of practice?
Plays, but I know how good you are.
Right.
And if you need somebody to tell you, "Hey, step it up," I still love you at the same time. You sucked last week, and Sweeney did a good job. He said, "Hey, our super said that," but it just depends on who it comes from. Sometimes on who's listening and how they respond. I do believe in that too. So that's what I was doing back then. I wasn't the quarterback coach, but Don had a relationship like this, and it was really just, hey,
certain guys look at certain people and they gravitate towards them. I mean, Taj is another guy like that. But Taj is like you. Kids gravitate coach. You know what I'm saying? They just gravitate towards who he is.
I'm sure that's what he's doing, and that's what I was doing, and it works. And I think we're going to bounce back. I know it was a tough loss. It was at home. You know, Clemson Nation was frustrated, but you know,
again, first game of the year you played, I think a top 4 team. I think you played one of the better teams in the country.
7 points, and when you go back and look at the film, man, we would have had a 24-point lead. I mean, I don't want to get into it. LSU, you get your flowers. You won the game, but you know, it's just our superstars. You know, they could have played a little bit better, and they know have time to work on that and get it done. So.
I'm excited about what's going to happen the rest of the year. Again, team is undefeated. I thought there was going to be a slip up, and the fact that happened, and I said this earlier in the year, the best thing that could happen to him was to lose to LSU, because the loss, as you saw, only dropped you 2 points. They only dropped you 2 spots in the polls. That's huge. Now, if we'd have lost that game by a large margin, we'd remember Georgia last year? We went from top 5 to like 20th.
Well,
and we were crawling into the top 12. Now we're there. If you just maintain, you're in this playoff.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't care how.
Out of my mind, we will. Because we're only going to get better. Swing. That's how.
That's been their MO.
Same thing at Dutch Fort, man. You start off, you kind of rolling, you're figuring things out, everybody, and then after that, man, we're steamrolling, we're handing that ball off, we're running the ball.
It's like every year they
Clemson,
expect.
You don't want to play them at the end of the year. At the end of the year, you don't want. There's just certain teams that you're like, man, I'd rather play them early and let's get it out.
Well, that's what football's kind of like. You build up gradually and you crescendo towards the end of the season, and you want to be playing your best ball at the end of the year. If you can get through the injuries and you can progress, because again, a lot of teams don't let out their playbook. I tell you something, LSU did. We open up. Hey, anybody plays LSU after us? Just go watch our game. They opened up half their playbook in the first half.
Yeah. That's you know, every team has that circle game on the calendar. You hope it's not the first one, so that you got to maintain for the rest.
But they literally opened up their playbook and screwed themselves.
So bad, and I think that, you know, they're selling out, and we should have won the game. I think that we're all okay with that. We didn't play how we should have, but the opportunities were there, and if we'd have capitalized on them, it would have been a different game. But LSU got the win, and now the Tigers get to build until the end of the season, and nobody wants to play us at the end of the season.
I'm with you on that one. Again, it's a development like that. But, hey, it's time to get to our pick segment, guys. I want to invite Mr. Morris from the Smoking Pig Inn, the manager. Stay right here, Jordan. You stay right here. And Chris Sloan over here from Imagine Studios. You got to say hello to Mr. Morris. He's the general manager here at the Smoking Pig. And then we got our man Chris Sloan from the Imagine Studios SC here, and we're going to go over our Pick'em segment, guys. Let me get to it here. Here we go. All right, so we got 6 games on the Pick'em segment this week. We're going to start off first with Duke and Illinois. Now, Illinois, a top 15 football team. Duke, with a new quarterback that looks really good, the kid that transferred out of Tulane. And Manny Diaz all has a spicy defense every year. You know they led the ACC in sacks last year. Mm-hmm. They did. But you got Duke and Illinois. That's our first game. We'll go with you, Darrell. What you got there?
I got Duke. I think, like we say, with that defense, Manny, quarterback, I think that they're going to turn it around.
Okay.
I think that'll be all right.
Joey?
Yeah, I'm going Duke also on that one.
Chris, what you got there?
I like Manny Diaz. I really do. I think he's. I was listening to the radio earlier today, and they were saying that how in the world could somebody like Manny Diaz not be successful in Miami? How in the world did he end up at Duke? And it's funny.
Well, his whole story is kind of funny. I mean, you thought God never played football. Mm-hmm. He literally he's a armchair quarterback that turned into an analyst and became a coach. So yeah. How about you, Mr. Morris? What you got there?
I'm taking Duke in a close.
Well, guess what, guys? I'm gonna buck the trend.
Oh no!
I'm gonna go with Illinois because I love the way that he coaches. I mean, if you watch that bowl, anybody can just do things like that, get in somebody's crawl and literally score points because of it. Yeah. He's got a good football team coming back. They run the ball really well. They play real Big Ten football. Again, I'm just going to buck the trend because we just like when you watch the guys on game day, you can't have everybody pick one team. So I'm going to be Kirk Herbstreit today. I'm going to pick Illinois. All right, next one, Baylor and SMU at SMU.
I got SMU. I like old Rhett. Good mindset, good offense, and he has the right pieces. I think he can be successful. So I'll go with SMU.
Okay, Joey?
I'm also going SMU on that. They've built a program around over the past couple of years.
Well, if you're as old as I am, because I'm telling you, they had about 25 years there where they couldn't see in the horizon. About Chris, what you got going on there with this one?
I love Rhett Lashley. I love Kevin Jennings, and they're playing at home. Give me SMU.
Gotcha. I like that call. How about you, Mr. Morris?
Taking SMU. Love Kevin Jennings. Love to see the electricity of that offense.
All right. And guess what? I'm gonna stick with you guys on this one. I'm gonna go SMU because they are a paper tiger. They are not what they're advertised to be. They were absolutely hosed by running. Auburn turned around and played a running quarterback on them and just absolutely freaked them out. They didn't know. Just thought that was hilarious. All right, next one up, the Battle of Iowa. Iowa State and Iowa. You got Kirk Ferentz and Campbell, the two coaches, and you got Campbell. And he's got a transfer quarterback coming out of where was it? He come out of the kid came out of, I want to say Cal, but it might not be. But again, Iowa State. What you got?
Who's home?
Where'd
they win earlier in the year?
They won the game over in Ireland.
Yeah, I think the luck of the Irish traveled with them.
You do? Okay. And they're playing at home. They're playing.
The Irish traveled with them.
Yeah, I can't remember where the quarterback came from. It's something or another, I think is his name. But go ahead, Joey. What you got? Iowa State.
I'd take it State on that one.
State. Okay. Yeah. Mr. Morris, what you got? Cyclones, okay. And Chris?
I like the Cyclones, too. Rocco Beck's a good quarterback.
What's his name?
Rocco Beck.
Rocco Beck. That's it. Okay, now where did he come from?
Now that I couldn't tell you. I don't remember where he transferred from, but I didn't. Yep. I like what I saw in that. He was green, no pun intended. I think he's got a good season ahead of him.
I like Dan Campbell as a coach too, but I like Kirk Ferentz as well. This is going to be a low-scoring game as we all 42. It's going to be one of those 20-17, 17-10 kind of games. But I'm going to take Iowa State because it's a home game. I think Coach Campbell has turned that program around. When I grew up, Iowa State was just trash. He was big 12, big 8 trash. But no, this guy's turned the program around since he got there.
By the way, speaking of Iowa State, who would have ever thought that Brock Purdy would have become what he is?
Amen.
Oh, man.
Yeah, poor man's Joe Montana.
No doubt.
All right, next one up. And this is a game I'm really interested in, and you probably know some of the folks involved in this one. USF against Florida. At Florida and USF, man, I tell you, that quarterback play last week and what they did in that game against Boise State, absolutely surprising. And this is going to be a good game. And get this, it's a 17-point. I'm not going to just call them right down the line, wins and losses, but this has got a 17-point spread on it, and I just don't see how.
Yeah, I think Billy Napier, he's going to be focused on every game. He's got a gauntlet.
Oh, I forgot. You got coach. That's your buddy.
And so he was my position coach here. Like I said, he taught me the X's and O's on a totally different level, and I respect what he does, and I know why he's the head coach of Florida right now. I know he's going to be prepared. This season is going to be.
You're at home.
It's going to be.
He's got
tough.
a quarterback
he's at home, and after this, he's got so many. I mean, he's got a ton of teams.
He's got one of the toughest schedules in the country. Sure, absolutely.
I think he's prepared. He knows what he's doing, and he's finally got his team in there. He's been struggling a little bit, but he hadn't had his guys. This is the year. You got your guys. Let's see what you got. But I got Coach Nate all day.
All got you. All right. How about Chris? What you got there?
Darrell, because of that gauntlet that you mentioned, I think I got them looking ahead a little bit. I like the Gators, but I don't think they cover.
Ooh. Oh, I got you. So we're going to go ahead with your side. Go ahead, Joey.
Actually, I think it might be an upset on this one.
Ooh, straight up upset.
Yeah, I think it could be. The USF looked really solid against Boise State.
Yeah, I got you, but their roster ain't even close.
Right
those lines of scrimmages, you know what I'm talking about. They're going to be a different ball game. How about you? How about Mr. Morris? What you got there?
Billy Napier's had him clicking, man. DJ Lightwood being as solid as is. I'm going Gators.
I'm going to go with the Gators as well. I'm with you, boys. I think they're going to win this one. I think it won't be 17 points. I tell you that it'll be a 7-point game. I think it'll be a 4. I think it'll be an interesting game. I think they'll be tested, but again, I think those lines of scrimmages will be the death of them because it's an SEC team with just loaded with talent. And again, Lagway, tons of upside. I love him. I'm on campus at Clemson when we had him here, and I think he's a great kid. I think I've known Billy for years as well. I think again, Florida. All right, next one up, ACC game. We got our boy Tony Elliott, and against going to my favorite people, Dave Dorn and the NC State Wolf. Let's say that with a bite in my tongue.
Yeah, I know that us and Dave don't get along, and I think he's got a good program, and I think they got some fight to him. I love the attitude that they have.
I love their quarterback.
But I got to go with my man TE for sure. I'm gonna hope he pulls it out with young Morris. And
yeah, he got Chad's son.
So, yeah,
I mean, think about all. Now you talk about bringing it full circle. Yeah. I mean,
I won Sweeney ball with him 2 years straight. That's, I mean, in Dabo's camp.
Yeah, it's awesome, dude. Yeah,
it's cool seeing him play now, and he was at TCU.
Yeah,
and here and.
Let's get. I want to say something quick. TCU game. Boy, did you watch a quarterback for TCU and tell me that kid isn't something special? Yeah. That kid has got the arm. No, I'm talking about some serious arm talent right there, my friend. That young man is special.
Yeah.
Okay, I saw him play. I'll tell you, those were woo tight. Okay, Virginia, North Carolina State. What you got?
I'm taking Virginia on this one.
As the Hells Angels go by.
Yep, I think it'll be a close one, but I think Virginia's going to get it.
Okay, Tony. What about you, Mr. Morris? What you got?
I'm taking NC State here, man.
Team, I got you. Chris, did I get you on that one?
I think this is going to be this year. I may be by myself on this one. I think this is the Dave Dorn farewell tour, man.
I'm with you on this.
And I think my parents actually used to live right next door to Tony Elliott before he took the job.
One of my favorite people.
And but that's not why I'm picking him. I think it's time for Tony and the Cavaliers. I think it's the best team he's had yet, and I think they get the win over NC State.
I think the young Morris is a great quarterback. I think that he's changed things there at Virginia. The Calandria kid, he got rid of him. Thank God for Tony, because that guy was a little a bomb waiting to go off anytime. He's at UNLV, I think now, right? Yeah. Tony, one of my favorite people ever to coach. His story about him and his mom and the way he grew up is just, is one of those ones that would bring a tear to your eye. But I pull for Tony all the time, and I think this is a game he is going to go in there and I want to see the Dave Dorn farewell tour myself, because he's not one of my favorite people. I'll say it. I'll be honest with you, he's one of the biggest asses I've ever met in my life. I'll say it here on live on camera. I don't care. You can kiss my. He's a total douchebag. So
make sure we look out for Landon Danley. I sent him a safety a couple years ago to UVA, like an outside linebacker hybrid.
Wow. Yeah. I bet you and Tony still keep in touch quite a bit. Yeah, good deal.
I don't bother him too much, but yeah.
Okay, guys, we're down to the last one, and we're all going to be a consensus on this. It's Clemson versus Troy. It's pretty much a glorified scrimmage. Get down to it. The Tigers are going to go in there. The first team's going to work in the first half. You might see them for a couple series in the third, if you're lucky, and then you're going to start seeing guys come in and start getting some reps. Quarterbacks behind him. I'm looking forward to seeing Chris Denson take snaps. The kid from Florida, the phenom that, if you've watched this film, guys, he is absolutely scary with a football in his hands. He's an athlete. It reminds me, if you ever saw film of Deion Kane when he was a high school player, he was a quarterback. He looks just like Deion Kane did at high school. I mean, an absolute deer when he's running down the field with a football. Scary. I'd love to see what he can become. I'm looking forward to see Gideon Davidson. I'm looking forward to seeing Jeremiah Alexander. I'm looking for options in the kicking game, maybe. Let's see. The tight end. So what about you guys? Anything, any storyline that you're looking forward to? Because I think we're all in consensus here. It's Clemson over Troy. We know that'll happen unless something just absolutely a fissure opens up and half of Death Valley swallows into the ground. I don't see any other different outcome here. But what are your storylines you looking for tomorrow?
What I'm looking for is the first 2 drives offensively, if it flows.
Continuity, rhythm.
Right hash call, left hash call, right hash call, and we're just flowing down the field, and it's basically letting everybody know, hey, we're okay, we got everything fixed, and then I'm looking for the confidence of the quarterback, and then I'm looking at the sideline, and are they responding to everybody? Did they work on something? And everybody knows what they worked on, and they're seeing it work, and then you see from everybody else.
The learning.
That
when they actually see it take place on the field and go, hey, I got you, coach, now I got it.
And then
that's a moment, right? Yeah, that's a special moment every year.
Flow for the first 2 drives should be easy, should be simple. Those are our best 14, 18, maybe 20 plays that we have in those first 2 drives. And then after that, run game.
I got one for you, okay? Now, this is for you, Darrell. Okay. The run game, Adam Randall. Here's why I'm asking the question. You were a guy that came in, like I said, out of high school. You were the first ever I saw tweener. The first guy ever half. We didn't know what to do with you. Wide receiver, tight end. You were a tweener.
Too early. Had I been in that Morris offense, it would have been a little bit different, I think.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, you were the first guy to do it, and you had to kind of learn 2 positions. What do you think's going through his head when he made that decision to change over running back? And
running back's a different. It's a mentality thing, right? So when you're running routes and I'm savvy, got to make a guy turn one way, and that kind of thing versus.
Hitting spots.
Blocking. When I'm standing up and blocking, was what I did pretty much my whole high school, the time I played in high school. So then you get to college, and I got to put my hand in the dirt, and I got to block Charles Bennett, Gaines Adams, Ricky Sapp,
Philip Merlin.
And
Pawcast, your name played in the NFL, including Philip Merlin.
And so that's how I had to learn how to get my hands on somebody. So that mentality was for a tight end. Now, running back, you're going from standing up, running routes, doing the savviness to, hey, it's 3rd and 1, and no matter what, we want you to move those chains. You get what I'm saying? So that mentality is I got to bite down on this mouthpiece, and I got to run through this linebacker that it's just me and him. Or we're going to block the linebacker, but now that safety's creeping down, and it's me and the safety. And we need a yard. Yeah. And so I think he showed that on the goal line.
Oh, dude, that run was that was incredible effort. That was all abdomen.
He was physical, and that's where he had to bite down. But now it's like, okay, now you got to find where your eyes go after the first cut.
Yeah.
I
want to see him, and I didn't see it last week, and I think it's because of AW being out. Again, I think the whole game plan went to shit, excuse my language, when the AW got hurt, because they were planning on isolating him on that Perkins guy and getting him slotted out. I want to see Adam Randall on a linebacker coming out of the backfield, and then all of a sudden he's got Canadian football. Yeah, Canadian football, they get that takeoff. Yeah. Here comes Adam Randall off, and giving 5 off towards the flats, and boom, turn left. I can't wait to see that on the line.
Up a little bit more. I saw that they put Antonio in the backfield, and he was running some Texas routes and that kind of thing. Adam should be able to do that, right? Yeah. He's maybe a step slower than Antonio, but competition-wise, I think that he's going to be able to handle that load until Antonio's back to 100%. But it's just, I just want to see that mentality.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you got Troy, let's work on the run game, but we know you're going to run the ball, but let's see where your reads are on that second level. After you make that first cut, let's make that second one and say, okay, yeah, he's figured it out.
You want things to start clicking and people to start seeing results and go. You want to see players go, okay, I get it. Yeah. This is one of those moments where, hey, the light comes on, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. This is one of those first down, short yard, second down, short yard.
This is a game where you want to see the team, the light come on.
We can throw the dig to Wesco for 12. Right. Now we're back at first down. No, let's go. Let's get 4 or 5 on the handoff.
See, folks, nobody thinks like that. Everybody else is wanting touchdowns. Every play. You're sitting there talking about development, the whole thing. Joey, what storylines are you looking at?
I'm with Darrell on it. I want to see some fire and some motivation on that sideline. And you come off a loss, you can either pout and lick your wounds, or you can come out fired up and use that to motivate you. And I think the Clemson offense, the Clemson team as a whole, should come out just totally fired up. And I want to see that fire. And definitely want to see some offensive rhythm. I want to see some offensive rhythm for sure.
I'm with you. Yeah. Now, hey, Mr. Morris, I'll tell you guys, he's not a Clemson fan, but we're going to get his analysis anyway. What do you want to see out of Clemson this week? If you
need some good, clean football, man. I heard this is pretty much a glorified dressing room. So let's get in, get out, have a good game, blow it out. Let's do it.
Yeah. And about you, Chris, the same.
Clemson by a million.
Clemson by a million.
No, this is a
Tigers.
This is get right game.
Get right
and not
game.
just for the players. I think this is a get right game for Garrett Riley. I think this is a get right game for the
Again, the Hells Angels are stopping by to see us. Hey guys.
I think it's a get right game for the balance of the offense. We know the receivers can catch the ball. Now it'll be interesting to see, what they do without Antonio, because I believe he's kind of still day to day.
They're not going to play. They're smart. They're sitting him out.
Yeah,
they'll sit him out for this. There's no reason for him to play.
So, I think it's a get-right game for both the offensive staff, for Cade, and for the balance. I want to see those rushing yards and those passing yards be more equal.
I'll be honest with you. I was watching the defensive line play and the results of the LSU game. I feel sorry for any offense that plays against our defense the rest of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to be absolutely stifling this week because we played a really talented football team. I mean, that Barry and Brown kid is scary good for Kentucky. He is so fast, and that's was scary good. It was like a Swiss Army knife of wide receivers they had, and they could have. And that tight end, oh my God, what a freak!
Yeah,
6'7".
What
That's how they got him twice. They got him on the one-on-one ball.
Isolating him in the red zone. I'd have said, hey, red flag. Yeah, we know.
Double up.
They're probably going to throw it to this guy.
Yeah, I'll jump over there, get on top of it.
Real quick on the defense. I hate to cut you. So I don't know Tom Allen, right? But this is just your group is always going to mirror the intensity of the leader. Tom Allen. But
I've been around
in a room. I know Tom Allen.
Yeah. You've been there. You've been there. You've seen it.
So without me saying, hey man, you're a Clemson guy through and through. You're Clemson this and that. And I say, hey, look, what do you think about the defense? I don't know, but I think that guy right there, I think he's the difference. I think he is.
And it has made a difference.
That I thought came true as far as how the defense played, how they looked, their intensity, and everything. And so if that transfers over this week to, hey,
I think they're going to be scored for the rest of the year.
I think that they're locked in.
I saw what he did last year with Abdul Carter and that defense at them. He set those guys up to win. He's got more tools in the shed with Clemson's defense, with Peter Woods and that defensive line, and the fact that he's got, he's got three at the edge, and I'm going to stifle people.
And he wasn't even on the field. He was in the
He's
box.
up in the box.
He was coaching like he was on the field.
Absolutely.
And those defensives were acting like he was down there.
You got Ben down there.
Oh, yeah. But that energy down there,
you know what that's like.
That group.
Yeah.
So
you were there when Ben was on the team. You saw your intensity to the coaching.
Bring it too.
Yeah.
So that's no go now. We need to switch it over to the other. Let's get some savvy. If that's what kind of coach you want, and you want to just flow down, then show it, and then we'll be all good with it, and let the play back their teammates up and their brothers up, and I think everybody plays more like that.
I'll be honest with you.
What blows my mind, he did it in game. He did it in game one.
He was ready.
He was ready to go, and his players were too.
No, that defense showed up. It literally showed again. He is going to hold that football team to 17 points. Nobody. That SEC schedule won't do it. Nobody's holding the LSU team to 17 points the rest of the year. I don't see it. And that was an impressive. First game, I was very impressed. Again, doing it from the box. Yeah. Like you said, for him to translate all that through all that
energy down to that side.
Yeah, exactly.
That defense, that was so
impressive. Very, because I mean, it brought me back to Brent Venables. Yeah. That's what I saw there. I saw that kind of intensity from a defense.
He can't stand still to save his life.
But that defense played. You saw him play like that. They played lights out. I mean, Avion Terrell, I love that kid to death, but he's a balls hawk. He loves to get there and find the ball. And I'm a guy on the game to me, Ronan Hannafin at safety. That guy hawking. Murder record.
Because of his attitude.
He wants to hurt people. Yeah. I mean, and I went back and watched his high school film. Folks, it's scary. Yeah. He reminds me of Tanner Muse. Reminded me of Tanner Muse.
Okay, yeah.
And Tanner Muse's high school film was almost criminal. Mm-hmm. It was like he hit the people and you think, are they going to throw the cops out there to arrest him? Because that was almost murder.
Right.
I mean, literally, Tanner Muse would scare you in high school the way he hit people.
Yeah.
I talked him out of going into pro baseball. Literally, at the West Zone parking lot at a spring game, him and his dad sat down with me when I was a recruiting analyst for Rivals, and we had a discussion. He said, "There's no way, dude." I said, "You're a linebacker or a safety." I said,
"You played great."
Yeah, and Mickey Conn, when they got him up there, man, he's like, "Thank you very much."
He played great.
Yeah.
My favorite combination on the defense is not even on the field. It's Tom Allen and Ben Boulware.
Oh my God!
You're not going to find another combination of fire anywhere in the country.
Yeah, well, I'll be honest with you. There's a lot of fire there, that's for sure. Ben's enough fire for a whole football team. But hey, guys, I want to thank everybody. We killed it tonight. I mean, we're an extra 15 minutes over. Darrell, man, DB, my brother, come here from Columbia to join us. He'll be on the field tomorrow checking out the things. He'll report back to me and tell me what he thinks about everything. My buddy Joey here, my co-host, my color man here, and man, this man right here, the king of barbecue Sopranos in South Carolina, the man, Mr. Morris, and then my buddy Chris Sloan from Image Studios SC, our new contributor, and I can tell you the partnership's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see the stuff you and Tamara send us. Guys, from all of us here at CSN and the Smoking Pig, we want to say thanks again. We'll be back here in a couple of weeks. I think next week we're going to travel off to somewhere else because we do all of our home games every Friday right here at the Pig. You can find us. All you do is look for the lights and the barbecue. Until then, we'll see you later. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.